Eric asks, great name. Hi, Adam. Running a small 7-barrel setup. I don't have an HLT yet, so we mash with half the water and then sparge with the second 4 barrels of water. Any rule of thumb for how long to recirculate, mash, and sparge? I might need you to clarify that for me a little bit, Eric. And so you have a 7-barrel setup, and so you're filling up your kettle with 7 barrels of liquid and then mashing in with 3 and then sparging out with the other 4. Is that what you're telling me? And then it says at the end, any rule of thumb for how long to recirculate, mash, and sparge. Are you talking about the Verloff, like when you're recirculating your mash to get it clear? Pop in with a little more deets and I can help you out some more. Yes, that is what you're talking about. Okay. So first of all, you might have a little bit of a hard time getting your full volume that way. That can be a little bit tough, and you could be playing some tricky pH games there too, right? I might look at, in a situation like that, you're almost talking about like batch sparging or like full volume mashing or something like that. Yeah, geez, that's a tough one, man. You can be running into pH issues. I would be tempted to drop the entire volume of that water that you're using, that all of that brewing water. I'd be tempted to drop it down to about 5.5 with lactic acid or phosphoric acid or potentially a combination. But yeah, I mean, that would be my hunch there. So you don't have, so you get your mash done, you Verloff, and then you run the rest of the water on top of the mash to empty the kettle, and then you start lautering over to the kettle. If that's it, that's tough, man. That's a tough situation. You definitely want that. You definitely want that HLT as soon as you can. But I'm just some nerd on the internet telling you to spend several $1,000s. That's not. I'm not trying to come across like that, but it obviously makes it tough. One big batch sparge split in half. Yeah, man. I think that's tough. I would be watching your pH on stuff like that. You might have some work clarity issues going into the kettle. So I would look at making sure you have some good kettle findings. But overall, you might just have a hard time getting like as clear of a wort as you can out of that. You know what I mean? If you take pH measurements, I would be looking to yeah. And I wasn't teasing either, man. I hope everybody's just trying to get by, and I've been, I've turned a Sabco 3 times in a day to make a barrel. I did that for 2 years. So I'm not like poking fun or anything like that. But those are some of the things I'd be concerned about. So maybe a solid kettle coagulant, making sure that you're using good recommendations there. Maybe getting enough time in that whirlpool to let a lot of that stuff settle out as much as you can. That would kind of be my thoughts on it. And make sure that your pH isn't getting wacky, brother. So yeah. Do I ever run titratable acidity? Leave your sword? No, I don't. But I want to learn about it soon. Yeah, and Srivas is mentioning a good point here. I was thinking about a secondary vessel. I was thinking about it with water, but Srivas was thinking about it with wort. Potentially what you could do is you could get your full volume of water hot. So get it, say, just for argument's sake, a good utilitarian number, 170 degrees Fahrenheit into a fermenter. Okay. Or in your kettle, and then use half of that to mash in, and then push the other half of that into a fermenter So then you have your kettle empty, and then you can whirl off in the mash lauter. Start lautering your wort over to your kettle. You know, whirl off for 20 minutes to a half hour, whatever it takes to get your wort grain free. Start lautering, and then pump out of your holding vessel the water, the fermenter, with spray balls open and everything like that, so you're not drawing a vacuum. But then gently pump that back up to your sparge ring in your mash tun. Our heads went two different directions with it. I went putting the water there, he went putting the wort there, but either way, I think it would work. Yeah. And Brookside says, I have a similar issue, have to double our work and fill the kettle the day before as a makeshift HLT. Been there, man. Been working okay for me. Good. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, and I think you're going to find some, I think you're going to be working out some of that variability once you can get something a little bit more consistent like that, Eric. So good to see you in there. That was my brother's name, Eric. I don't know why that was so pleasing to read. But yeah, cheers to you, brother. All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching. If you feel as if you got any value out of the video, please like and subscribe. There are also other videos that you can watch. They're going to maybe be over here or over here. Appreciate you watching.